You are listening to our podcast, Conservation Calls, an awesome Mohammed bin Zayed Species Conservation Fund initiative.
Yeah, but why are we really making this?
Because we need to make sure that everybody knows that the care we give, the earth we keep.
That's right. Let's also tell them about
the Mohammed bin Zayed Species Conservation Fund.
Hello everyone, or as we say, Ahlan wa Sahlan. It's your two favorite adventurers, Noor and Mira.
Before we get to today's awesome story, did you know that the Mohammed bin Zayed Species Conservation Fund has made a huge impact by successfully supporting over 2,800 projects across 170 countries, where they have done an amazing job discovering, reintroducing, and protecting over 1,700 species from extinction.
That's so cool. Today's story is about one of those projects. Are you ready? Let's go meet our explorers.
Salbona everyone. I'm Renaz, originally from South Africa, but currently living in the UAE.
Assalamu alaikum, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Adam, and I'm from Egypt.
The name's Andrew, and I'm from the UK and the Philippines.
Namaste. My name is Agrata, and I'm from India.
Assalamu alaikum. My name's Wanya from Pakistan.
Hello everybody. My name is Smayan, and I'm from India.
Hello, everybody.
Hello. I hope everybody had a lovely summer holiday. What did everybody get up to?
Over the summer, what I did was I went to the beach. After all, I've just smashed my brother and we always just play fighted.
Oh, that's cool, Adam. But I just got back from Cape Town over the weekend.
That's in Africa, right? Did you see any lions or elephants?
No way, Adam. That's just a myth. They don't roam the streets. But guess what? I did stumble upon something else on the streets.
What? Unicorns?
No, silly. Something far more magical. A Western Leopard Toad.
Oh, wow. Like mutant. Half leopard, half toad?
Adam. It's just a toad with cool leopard-like skin patterns that help it camouflage and hide from predators. And they're only found in the Western Cape of South Africa.
Oh no, I'll run the other way when I see them. Toads are dangerous, slimy, and icky to touch.
That's another myth. Toads are not dangerous at all. Especially not the Western Leopard Toad.
Wait a minute, is a toad not just a fancy name for a frog?
No. Frogs and toads might look similar, but they have some cool differences that make them unique. Frogs have smooth, slimy skin and long legs that are perfect for jumping, whereas toads have dry, warty skin and shorter legs which allow them to jump, crawl, or walk.
How do you know so much about toads, Renaz?
While out wandering with a friend in this area called Siakoi Flay, we saw these people with cool gear measuring stuff and getting photo records.
Cool. Like a scene from CSI.
Something like that. I was super curious and ended up making conversation with one of the crew, a lady named Kim.
Hi, I'm Kim Gordon and I work in nature conservation in Cape Town for an organization called Nature Connect. I manage the Western Leopard Toad Underpass project, which is an initiative to help toads cross the road safely through permanent tunnels that we've placed under the roadway.
It turns out they were working on a really cool amphibian project and were monitoring the results.
Amphibians are awesome. I found out they were around even before dinosaurs, but then they got overshadowed by reptiles that evolved from some of their own groups.
Oh wow, I didn't know that. That's so cool. Western leopard toads are also super important. They eat lots of bugs and control insect populations. They also act as a source of food for other animals like birds and snakes and serve as indicators of environmental health.
Did you know that amphibians, like frogs and toads, are some of the most threatened animals on Earth? Around 41% of amphibian species are in danger of going extinct. These amazing creatures have been around for about 300 million years and have lived all over the world, but now they're in big trouble. Things like losing their natural homes, getting split up by roads and buildings, pollution, and other human activities are making it hard for them to survive. If we don't change the way we treat our planet, we could see a huge drop in the numbers of these ancient animals. It's up to us to help protect them.
We have to do something to protect them. They are not just useful, but beautiful as well. I remember their eyes. They had the coolest eyes, like a greenish gold, almost a metallic color.
Did you kiss one? Did he turn into a prince?
Yeah!
No, Adam. There were too many to pick one. Anyway, when we saw them, they were on their annual migration from farms and gardens, where they hang out most of the year, to places with water like wetlands and small ponds, where they meet to pair up and lay eggs during breeding season. Unfortunately, this is a dangerous time with many obstacles to cross, and many don't survive as they have to navigate garden walls, swimming pools, pavements, and roads.
So by now you know that the Western Leopard Toad is facing a lot of challenges. Things like cars on roads, new buildings, strange plants, and even certain fish make life tough for these toads. Even though awesome scientists are helping out, a lot of toads still get hit by cars. Over the past 10 years, people have been keeping track and found that 7.4% of the toads that they spotted were roadkill. But guess what? Many toads that get squashed by cars aren't even counted, so the real number is probably much higher. This shows how important it is to protect our toad friends.
On that dramatic note, I need a break to catch my breath. We'll finish the story on the other side of this.
While he takes a breather, here's something I bet you didn't know about the Western Leopard Toad.
The Western Leopard Toad is listed on the IUCN Red List as endangered and is found only in the Western Cape region of South Africa. Over the last 20 years, toad populations have undergone drastic declines from urban areas where they were once abundant. The populations are now considered to be severely fragmented, and the distances between subpopulations are too great for dispersal within one generation. So what this means is that their population numbers have dropped a lot in the last 20 years because of the expansion of the city to keep up with the growing human population. And now, these toad groups are spread out too far apart for them to meet and mingle easily. Over half the subpopulations are thought to be facing considerable declines without ongoing conservation efforts. Here's a fun fact. For a pond to be considered for successful toad breeding, it needs to be at least 50 centimeters deep. The male toads have a special way of calling females to the breeding ponds with a deep snoring sound during the months of August and September. Once a male finds a female, he hitches a ride on her back to the breeding pond. It's like he's getting a piggyback ride. When they get to the water, they go swimming together, and the female lays her eggs in long jelly-like strings, and the male fertilizes them once they have been released. It takes about 2 months for these eggs to turn into tadpoles and then into baby toads through a process called metamorphosis. Then, between October and December, thousands of tiny toadlets leave the water to start their new lives, mostly on land.
Back to the story. How do we give these tiny tadpoles a fighting chance to survive?
Well, this is the cool part of the story. Remember earlier when I said they had many obstacles to cross? The biggest and most dangerous one is definitely this road that runs through an important nature reserve in Cape Town. It's called False Bay Nature Reserve. The road was built to connect people living on a peninsula to the nearby town. Every year, a lot of them end up getting, well, you know what I mean. But then, Kim's team had a genius idea.
Did they do like in Star Trek? Beam me up, Scotty!
Close enough, Adam, but they didn't go up. They went down. They built a tunnel under the roadway so the toads can have a safe route to the water bodies without having to go over the road where all the cars drive.
In 2021, we installed 2 underpass tunnels in the roadway at our pilot project in Cape Town, which proved an overwhelming success as volunteers spotted toads making use of the tunnels on several occasions, which was very exciting. Then in 2023, with the generous support of the Mohammed bin Zayed Species Conservation Fund and other donors, a further 4 underpass tunnels were installed on the same road. Since the installation of the 6 underpass tunnels, there have been no recorded deaths along this stretch of road. This is really promising news, as it may form the basis of the expansion of the project into other roadkill hotspot areas throughout Cape Town.
There was a huge push to get the local community involved. Before Nature Connect built the underpass tunnels, locals were already making safe zones for the toads to cross. Many dedicated volunteers are still at it during the migration season, in the other hotspot areas that don't have underpasses. This not only helps the toads survive, but also brings the community together and raises environmental awareness.
That's an awesome story, a shining example of how people unite to support our environment. And guess what? If toads are healthy, we'll be too.
I agree, and by giving them a safe passage, they can create something beautiful.
So during the breeding season, there's a symphony of hundreds of toads when they congregate around the breeding water bodies. It's really a delight for the ears.
Another reason to safeguard these toads, listen to this beautiful orchestra.
Oh, wow, that's cool. I'm hoping these toads have a happy ending.
We are happy to report that no deaths were recorded over the 2023 breeding season at the underpasses. This was our first year of thorough monitoring and it went really well.
How awesome! We learned about the difference between a toad and a frog, why they're important to the ecosystem, and about the amazing work Kim and her team at Nature Connect are doing to keep the symphony going.
I like the sound of that.
I see what you did there, Adam.
Remember, the care we give, the earth we keep. Tune in for next time. We'll be back with another epic story. A special thanks to the Mohammed bin Zayed Species Conservation Fund for helping us make a more sustainable planet. Thanks for listening. Bye!